At Eastside Christian Church, your generosity changes lives locally and abroad. Earlier this year, 23 Eastsiders had the incredible opportunity to represent Eastside during the annual Beyond Borders vision trip to Thailand. After thorough training sessions and team bonding, our journey led us from Southern California to Northern Thailand. Our first stop immersed us in a 2.5-day kids camp in the Chiang Rai region, where we engaged with around 125 local children through music, games, and crafts. The experience of worshiping together with voices from across the globe was truly impactful. The days were filled with activities, Bible-based skits, and meaningful messages shared by our team, always bridging any language barriers with the help of translators. After every skit, Mike from our team shared the biblical truths that were expressed in each skit. The time we spent at Kids Camp was impactful for our team as it was for the locals. On Monday morning, we headed to a local village to be part of the last steps of finishing a 4-mile-long freshwater project that Johnny's been working with the locals for quite some time now. We learned that there are villages across this region that have been receiving poor, very poor quality water for years. Basically, it was a mineral content issue. These water projects brought water from cleaner sources in the higher regions in the area down to the villages and eventually to each home. This is one of many projects that Eastside has supported financially lately in northern Thailand. Our team helped by connecting and burying the last half mile or so of the PVC pipe, and then we witnessed the first water come through that new pipe. It was quite an experience to be part of. After lunch, our team shared one of our Bible skits and sang as the choir again for the families in the village. Some of the locals came and performed a traditional Lisu dance and sung for us. We then witnessed several local leaders, one by one, come up and express their sincere gratitude for being there and bringing in the much-needed fresh water. Behind the scenes, the last couple of months, hundreds of locals tirelessly toiled in the hills to dig miles of trenches and lay miles of pipe. Tuesday morning had us up bright and early, as this leg of our journey had us all moved to pickup trucks for an hour drive up a rock and concrete road that took us deep into the woods. On a side note, when I returned home, I was able to locate this village on Google Earth, and I can confirm we were really at the end of the road in the middle of nowhere. As we drove, in the distance were countless acres of rich forests. It is in this off-the-beaten-path area of Thailand that 50 years ago these villages were started by drug lords across the region with the goal of planting and harvesting poppies to support the opium trade. As time went on, the local officials found about the poppy fields, and this practice was slowly suppressed. The villagers were encouraged to replace the poppies with cash crops to sustain the local population. After our arrival in the village, our afternoon was filled with spending some time with the local headman as we visited the construction site of the new church being built in the village, initiated with support from an Eastside family. We also learned that behind the scenes, Johnny has been discipling some of the local leaders, and there are several families that are now Christians. It was Tuesday night after dinner that Pong, the local village headman, sat with us as we had our evening debrief. Johnny translated for Pong as he shared his personal story of how years ago he went off to college, and after college was set to start a new life in the big city. It was not long after his graduation that he was called back to the village. Pong shared that it is local tradition that the youngest son is responsible to take care of the parents in their old age. As a result of this, he now found himself in a new season of life. It was not long after he came back that he was asked by the villagers to become the headman of the village. He humbly accepted that role as his father was one of the original founders of the village. Pong is 37 years old and is the 5th leader of the village that was founded over 50 years ago. On Wednesday, just after breakfast, we had a great time traversing the hillside, playing a small role in the planting of some small mango trees side by side with some of the locals. Eastside has been partnering with groups in the area for almost 10 years on projects like this. This project involves providing seed monies that can be permanently kept in productive circulation to meet the agricultural needs of the hill tribe people across northern Thailand. To sum it up, Eastsiders have provided funds to purchase over 150,000 small mango trees and thousands upon thousands of seedlings for coffee, tea, and other cash crops for families to sustain their lives. In fact, most meals we had in the villages had us eating fresh mango that was harvested from trees that Eastsiders helped plant years ago. The agricultural component of our work across the area has been going on for almost a decade. Our seed money jumpstarts these initiatives by introducing more economically viable cash crops, and by having a healthy water source, they are now able to have a more sustainable future.
Some of our people planting the trees.
After lunch on Wednesday, several of the local men and women came in person to express their gratitude for bringing healthy water to their villages. They then gifted each of us with a traditional Lisu shoulder bag. In the last year or so, Eastside has helped fund 2 freshwater pipelines to these remote villages. One was 12 miles long and the second was around 14 miles long. Later Wednesday afternoon, the local families had been preparing our meals, challenged us to a volleyball match. They were a formidable group and determined to beat the Americans. They won the first game.
Good job, Ash.
We barely won the second game. We had a lead in game 3, and they came back and beat us. A lot of fun. The view is amazing. Tried to rain a couple times, but we had so much fun.
Oh, dude, you jumped a smidge too early there.
After dinner on Wednesday, we found our group right in the middle of a meeting of the local villagers. The evening started with some of the locals providing traditional Lisu music and dance. We then performed one of our skits. Then we all got together and belted out some awesome worship songs. To wrap up the evening, Pong wanted to share with us. Pong painstakingly sat down earlier in the day and wrote what he wanted to convey us in English. Remember, he went to university. He could speak pretty good English. We were honored and humbled to see and hear this heartfelt message of gratitude that he and the people of his village felt. In every encounter, whether through collaborative projects or friendly volleyball matches, the spirit of gratitude and unity shone through. The genuine appreciation expressed by the locals for the transformative impact of clean water, sustainable agriculture, and community engagement was truly inspiring and also humbling. As we bid farewell to the people of Thailand, we carry with us the memories of a hard-working, humble group of individuals deeply rooted in their communities. Eastside, your continued support and generosity truly changes lives, both locally and abroad.